So let's say you're doing structural geology and you've been working on 3-point problems, and so far all of your 3-point problems you have 2 points with the same elevation that you can just kind of trace a line across to find strike, and from that point you can use it with the 3rd point to find dip. That's really nice because normally, you just got your 2 points. Let's say you have another one at 80 right here. Trace a line here. Cool, you've got a strike. Bring it down here. Figure out, using that you've got a dip. Well, in this situation, you don't have that because all you have are different elevations. So you got one at 10 for point B, 80 for point A, 25 feet for point C. None of these are the same elevation. How are you going to find strike? If they give you a scale, then you can still find it. And this is basically a practice problem taken out of a geology study manual. I'm assuming you're learning this to understand structural geology for some sort of purpose. Okay, so how would we do that? Well, first we would take our highest and lowest point and draw a line connecting them. This will allow us to use something called the Simplified graphic projection method to figure out your strike. How it works is, this line right here represents the fold line, and I was trying to figure out a good way to explain what the fold line is, so I made a little model here. So up here you've got your strike, up here you've got your cross-section view with your little guy for scale, and this gray area is your outcrop that you're measuring. That little angle up there is your dip angle. So if I would put this right here, you kind of get a good idea. There's this little fold right here. That is your fold line. Cool. So we've got that fold line, and we've got a scale. What are we going to do with that? Well, I'm going to draw another line 90 degrees from this first line that you made. And this is going to allow you to basically make a representation of the cross-section view I just showed you. What you're going to do is take the scale. So you can use any ruler as long as it makes it easy to kind of get your scale on the ruler. You can make another piece of paper to... I already have this ruler here that's quite nice, that actually shows every 2 tick marks is 10 feet, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so. So I'm just going to use this, but if you have to take another piece of paper and make a version of this, that's probably the way to do it. Alright, I'm going to start marking my scale on this second line that I drew. Every 2 tick marks, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Each of these tick marks is 10 feet. So what I'm going to do now, well, 10 feet is where you want to go down to 10 feet. So let's imagine this point right here is 80. Let's imagine there's another point right here that's also 80. So this point, let's say, is also 80. You go down to 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay. What this thing that I'm about to draw here, let's combine these 2 lines, the 10 and the 80 here, and form a triangle. Alright, what's this triangle here? Well, this angle here is your dip angle, and to picture that, so this is what I had originally. If you look at this side, I'll just flip it around so you can see it. This side is essentially what I've just drawn right here. You've got a guy standing there and a dip angle. So this side right here, the same thing as this right here. If I were to draw a person, it'd basically be like, he's standing like that. Okay, This is your cross-section view. That direction is up. That direction is down. Alright? So, cool. You've got a cross-section view to this side of the line, and this line represents your fold. Alright, well, I've got this point here at 25, and I want to find the strike. I could basically just take this line that I just made, find 25 on here, which is about right there, and connect these two. Well, not quite the straightest line. Let me redo that. There we go, that's a lot better. Alright. This line that I've just created, I'll mark it in red. This here is your strike line. Sweet. You found your strike. And now what you can do, grab your protractor and measure it. This would give you, if you're using a quadrant, using point C as the midpoint, you would get a strike of north 67 west.